You want to spit something from me?
I mean, what you want to hear?
Whatever you want to spit.
That's a good question. God, so mad. Cause I was over here. I was on the way over here. I was listening to Spin the Bin. So y'all done heard it before, but for the people that haven't heard it, Spin the Bin. I'm ready to win. When I hit the curb, I done crashed again. 2 cups shorted with a pint of lean. When I'm gassed up, I'm on Irene. I'm a walk-in amphetamine. All I smell like Charlie Sheen. Weigh that coke with triple beam. Go bust it down, then feed the team. What you mean, them dope boys, them coke boys, them crack fiends. Done serve more coke than a soda machine. My dream team and my hustle mean. All I smoke is lime green. Got that shit that make you queeze. No choking, please. Just catch and squeeze. Release the bees, then drop the seeds. Drop the D's. Opiates, please. I got some sneeze. I got some G's. Smoking cheese, you burning Steve. That spice weed, and I'm Hercules. Love y'all, man. Stay up, stay positive, and stay blessed.
Hey.
Welcome to Raw Talent with your host, Miss Tink. Welcome to Raw Talent. Welcome to Raw Talent with your host, Miss Tink. Welcome to Raw Talent. So tell me, who is Terrell?
Terrell is a father of 7, as well as a father of many different kids that I don't claim they don't belong to me, but I'm from the old school. I'm an 80s baby. They say it take a village to raise a family, so that's real. Because that's what it was for us when we was coming up.
Right. So who is YellaStreet Rell?
Good question. Well, back in 2009, I met a set of twins by the name of Marcus and Maurice, and they had the group YellaStreet. From that point, they incorporated me and a good friend of mine named Gary, aka G-Pack, and we became YellaStreet. From that point, we did a bunch of different shows in the city of Richmond and Farmville. We went to New York. We did shows in Jersey. So from that point, we build as a whole. We stopped doing shows in 2013 because there was no revenue being exchanged. We opened up for Pastor Troy. We opened up for Rod Wade when him and Kevin Gates came down. So again, there was no revenue exchanged.
What do you mean when you say exchange? Like, it was money being collected, but it wasn't being distributed?
Pretty much. So it went from, all right, hey, look, man, we like what y'all guys are doing. We want to know what does it take to fill a venue. All right, if your venue holds 50 to 75 people, if we're bringing in 125 people, then at some point you should be able to get some percentage of the door or off the bar.
Right.
None of that was taking place.
So the business end wasn't being...
So from that point, I caught flack from amongst the group because it was like, bro, you basically cutting our exposure. And like I told them, all us have lives, all us has families. So at the end of the day, we going out here taking money from our families to make sure these shows is right, making sure we got equipment, making sure our music is done right.
Yeah.
So if we taking from our
back in.
Right. So if we taking from our family every day, at some point you're gonna expect some type of revenue to come back in to your family.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case. So I was the one that made the executive decision to say, hey, look, at this point, being that we're not being met with our stipulations and our criteria, then we just gonna fade from doing the music scene in total. Cool.
So why not just revamp? Why fade out completely?
When we revamped, we ended up meeting a young man by the name of Dot. Dot was one of the guys that made some fire beats. When I say fire beats, top of the line beats. And he basically was leasing them. Okay, cool. He said leasing them.
How you lease a beat? So you sending to more than one person, right? Is that what that means?
So all right, he make the beat. Let's say all right, he leased the beat to you.
Mm-hmm.
You get on the beat, you do your thing on the beat, you publish the beat with your vocals on it.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't,
numbers.
if it doesn't get its clicks and its spins, then on to the next person.
Okay, but that's kind of fucked up because if it don't do clicks and spins in 2012, but in 2016 somebody pick it up, then you have more than one person with the same beat.
But that's just like the 360 deal.
What's the 360 deal?
So back in 2009, a lot of the local artists was getting wrapped up into what they call 360 deals.
Mm-hmm.
Was you get signed to this distribution company, you do X amount of sales on distribution and mixtapes, then we go to the next level with you. If you don't meet our criteria, then alright, so we just got all your music, we got all of your everything you done.
So they own it.
They own it. They own it. If you don't meet their criteria, you can't sign the next level of the contract. So
who's responsible for marketing?
They are. But if you don't meet...
So that could be a problem with you not marketing it right. It ain't got nothing to do with my product.
But again, if on my end, on my social media platforms, it's showing you that, all right, I'm working.
Yeah.
But on the business aspect, they're looking at it, all right, you got 2 LPs, you got a mixtape, but in your contract, you were supposed to have 4 mixtapes, 2 albums, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so again, at the end of that 12 months, if I haven't met that criteria of your contract, it falls back on me.
Yeah, in that respect. But if you did all of that and it didn't do numbers, would they still drop you? Mm-hmm. See, that's crazy.
Because it's a business. They can't make money off you if you ain't making money off yourself. That's why.
But that's why you have marketing and promotion teams. Because I mean, you can sell shit as long as it looks nice.
Right. So again, that's why you that's why you run across different people that say, "Hey man, look, I got X, Y, and Z going on. Come check me out." Then when you go and check them out, it's you, him, and his homeboy sitting in somebody's back door, garage somewhere with a bunch of merchandise sitting up. Man, look, man, this is what we're going to have you do. We're going to get right here. We're going to do this podcast. We're going to let them know what you're doing. Whoop-de-whoop. All right, so what is this for? Is this helping my marketing or is this promoting you as a whole? What are we doing? If you can't tell me what we doing and we just sitting here bullshitting, then it's wasting time.
Yeah.
But you got in corporate America, you got a whole LLC for Junkyard and Production, but you got only one artist on Junkyard Production. But you sitting here trying to promote this one artist for Junkyard Production, and what you promoting is just you, not him. Yeah, man, check out Junkyard Production. We gonna be here live at such and such Saturday. Whoop de whoop whoop. But you ain't promoting your artist.
Yeah.
But you want your artist to put all their time, money, and effort into you.
Right.
But you ain't promoting them.
Right.
So again, what are we doing?
It's one-sided.
What are we doing?
Right.
It's good.
So how that work for the track though? Like, what happens when y'all clash? Like, say you make a song and I make a song on that same beat, and both of our songs end up doing numbers, but it take a long time for mine. And you
so the goal is, instead of leasing your beat, you buy your beat.
Right. So did he have that option?
You had that option.
Oh, okay.
So again, let's say if your funds ain't right, and all right, you got this song that's been burning your heart, you've been wanting to get it out, but I just got enough money to lease this joint. From you as the artist, what your goal is now is to pump this one single that you got to generate some revenue so you can get your full copyrights to this song, so you can downright buy the beat.
Right.
That way, if it does blow, you ain't got to worry about this man coming back saying, "Hey man, look, you owe me a percentage on that."
So is it a contract involved with leasing?
It is.
Okay.
It is. It's just like a vehicle. When you go to a dealership, they tell you, "Hey, look, you give us $5,000, $700 a month, but you can only go 1,000 miles in this vehicle for 12 months."
Yeah, gotcha.
So if you go over that, then you done broke the contract.
Yeah, gotcha.
So again, when you look at it that way, it really ain't no development for the artist if you're telling me I have a ceiling.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of artists that's out
but
here
that's
now.
money for the person who making it though. Again, that's putting them in a box though.
So the goal, and that's the thing with a lot of Richmond artists is it's hella talent out here.
It is.
But on the flip side of that, when you look at the business aspect, we a bunch of crabs in a barrel.
Why do you think that is?
Because the next man don't want to see you make it.
Like, I want to see you successful, but not more than me. Type shit.
Just because we done ate graham crackers and apple juice at Big Mama house, I don't want to hear about you hitting the lottery for $45 million.
Yeah.
You done took your whole family out the projects. Y'all got houses. Y'all good. The laughs, the smiles, the jokes is a facade. Because when you are out of sight, out of mind, they not thinking about you. And if they is, it's negative.
Right.
It ain't, oh, I remember when I did that, girl. Hell, they done came a long way.
Yeah.
If it wouldn't have been for the, them catching that blessing, where would they be?
Right.
You always hear, girl, fuck them. They think because they got money, they better than everybody else. But ain't that us on tax time?
Yeah. Some of us. I can't say I'm not person. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, some people do that. Yeah.
You ain't got but
the money
two
go
kids.
to your head though.
You ain't got but 2 kids, but tax time you got 13 kids. You riding around in a CLK.
Right.
The kids still got the same light up Jordans from last year.
Don't you think the ground problem is like the mental?
Always.
People just letting everything go to their head instead of like staying humble. Like
a lot of people say it's the product of your environment. It's true.
Some of that shit is. Some of it's
not.
True
to a certain extent. You can be better than your environment.
Yeah, some of it's not.
Just
like
because
I know like me as a parent and me as an adult.
Right.
There's certain things that both my parents did. I grew up in a 2-parent home. I mean, like split. You know what I'm saying? So it's certain things that my mom did that I won't fucking with. You know what I'm saying? It might have been financial. It might have been just like how she handled certain situations. And the same thing for my dad. So I strived. These are on my don't list. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm not doing when it comes down to certain things because I don't want to be that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of like, I'm going to do exactly what my parents did.
But it's the it's the blueprint they set for us.
Yeah.
Which, like you just said, the do's and don'ts.
Yeah.
So some of us took from it, some of us didn't.
Right.
Some of us added to it.
Yeah.
So and that was my goal. I told my mother, like, man, whenever I had kids, man, I ain't treating them like you treated me, man.
Right.
Like, you was rough as hell for no reason.
Pause. But what that?
Yeah, so, like I told my mother, when I had my kids, man, I ain't gonna raise them like you raised me. You was rough as hell. And she was like, and if I didn't do it, who was gonna do it? But
so
I had
dad wasn't in the picture?
Nah. I had my stepfather there, but like I said, he came when I was about 9, 10. So again, it was just me and my grandmother from birth until 9. So
You're your grandmother or your mother?
My grandmother.
So your mother didn't raise you and your dad wasn't there?
So, true story.
That's tough right there.
True story. Both parents told me at many different occasions. I was a one night
stand. So you know them?
I know them.
Okay. They both in perfect health? They ain't in jail?
I don't know about my biological father. The last time I seen my biological father was 14 years ago.
But I mean, they didn't give you up because they...
No. So, what it was my mother had me when she was 15.
Oh, she was a baby.
My father was 16 going on 17.
They was children.
So my grandmother told her she won't raise no dumbass child.
To get your ass back in school.
I'll take care of your baby. You walk across that
That's
stage.
serious because most mothers don't do that.
So with that being said, she did that.
But she didn't come back and get you.
Now I ain't even gonna say she didn't come back and get me. After she graduated, the first job she had was working at the hospital.
Crazy.
So for 6 months, they sent them from New York to Jersey to do training in a rougher atmosphere.
You was born and raised in Richmond?
Yeah, Petersburg.
Okay.
So with that being said, for the first year, my grandmother raised me. And between the age of going to 2 to 9, I can't tell you what the hell happened. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I mean, that's a young, right?
You know, but again, I know I jumped off the porch at 9. I did a lot of things at 9, and it was all due to the fact one day I was with my grandmother and my baby brother at the time. He was 1, and she was going to pay bills and get her medicine filled. And she collapsed in the middle of the street. And it took for me and my baby brother to shield her to keep the city bus from hitting her. So from that point on, and it's like we put her in the hospital. I called my mother. You know, my mother was in Jersey. She couldn't leave at the time because her transportation was messed up. So I made in my mind that I ain't gonna see my grandmother like this, man. You know, so I was going to school, coming from school, making sure my siblings were straight.
How many siblings did you have at 9?
At that time, 1 going on 2.
How you have 1 going on 2 siblings? 1 was in the oven and the other one was born?
Yeah.
And they were both
like
from your
that.
mom? So this was your mom's mom, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the second one, you know, it was a secret, but needless to say, it was some family ties there that drew a line between the family, and some things came out later that, you know, it was baffling to us, but anywho.
Okay.
My sister came.
I ain't gonna even pry into that one.
My sister came, so it was like, all right, at this time she's a baby, so.
So your grandma ended up with all 3 of y'all.
I mean, you know, my stepfather there, he working 16 hours a day. He come home from work, he crash and burn.
Of course.
You know, he get up, he go to work from 6 in the morning. We won't see him again until 10 at night, and that's to kick his boots off and lay across the bed. So, with that being said, when my mother, when she got pregnant, it was like, all right, she was at home for the 10-month time span. The baby came, back to work she went. She went from working 2 jobs to working 3 jobs now. Because it was a job per child. And that's what she told my grandma. To keep the burden off you for having to worry about anything, it's a job per child.
But it was like either choose financial or choose being physically here.
Pretty much.
You know?
And for a while it worked, but it stopped working when Gran couldn't do for herself no more.
Right.
And it became an issue for me.
How old were you at that time?
Shit, about 12, 13. You know, I said,
responsibility on your shoulders.
And I did a lot of dumb shit because, again,
you're a kid though.
Right. But you gotta think, my age of 13, 14, my 14th birthday, I stole the unmarked police car, and that was exciting to me. That was the thrill.
Is it something you just decided to do? Like, how did that come about?
In my mind, I like people, but sometimes I have my moment where I'm just a loner. I like to be alone. And at this particular time, I was on my loner shit. Walking down the street, just chilling, smoking a blunt. Well, at that time, it was a woo. What we call woo is crack mixed with weed. That's what I was smoking at the age of 13.
Shit.
So, walking down the street, I see the car doors open, and the car's on. I ain't thinking nothing of it. I'm like, nah, what's the odds? Walk past it, get up on it, and I see that literally ain't nobody in there. And these people's doors is shut. Walk right in the yard, hopped in the car. I ain't even close it. I just inched it out the yard, threw it in neutral. It was on the end slope. It came on down the end slope. Once it came into the street, threw it in drive, and I pulled off. At some point, 20, 30 minutes later, I looked in the rear view and I seen this car follow me. Didn't think nothing of it. Childish. Go to the mall, act a fool in the mall, leave the mall. Go right back to the car. Same situation. This one car is following me. So I end up going back to the neighborhood.
Don't tell me it was the police following you.
It was.
But so why the fuck they ain't stop you when you came out the mall then? That's stupid as shit on their part. But they wanted to see what you was gonna do. I mean, like,
my mother asked that question later at court and still didn't get an answer. But it was the police. Show us you shit. So when I get back to the neighborhood, that's when they decide to throw the lights on me. I laugh to this day because this is the funniest shit ever. It was me and 4 other occupants.
So you stole the car and picked up other people?
I did. I did. You know, we're gonna have a ball in this. We bought the trip.
Oh Lord.
Now, it's funny because out of all the occupants, I am the brightest occupant of them all. Remember the old school red, white, and black Bo Jackson Nike sweatsuits with the bows to match? Head to toe is what I had on. So imagine a notebook full of paper running through the woods, and you hear him, and then when you look over, he is fluorescent red, moving 20 miles per hour. You hear the police laughing because they can see me.
Yeah. In
my mind, I am running a triathlon. I'm going nowhere. Literally. I'm hung up on a sticker briar bush. All you hear is just.
And you're not moving.
I'm not moving. Not going nowhere. So when I finally get myself together, half of my leg is just missing. When the police see me, I call myself running again and they tackle me. So I see my grandmother looking.
Still in the vehicle. Police vehicle.
My grandmother.
Police.
Right. So my grandmother is like, "But what the hell you doing?" I'm like, "Grandma, we was just having fun and they caught me." So in my mind, that was the funnest day ever. I can't make this.
So how much time did you get for that?
Y'all ain't gonna believe me if I tell y'all. I got no jail time. The judge went to school with my mother, graduated with my mother, allowed my mother to whoop my ass in the courtroom for 30 minutes straight. I don't know these people I'm getting my ass whooping from.
Right.
I ain't talking about like clothes on. I'm talking about like your ass cheeks is out. You're being embarrassed.
In the courtroom.
Yeah. Shit was real. Like,
that's the old school way.
Then I lied on my man to get out of the shit. It was, yeah.
Did anybody else get jail time?
No, nobody else got jail time. I just got embarrassed.
Did it stop you? No.
I'm gonna say yeah, because I didn't
It's
steal any.
understandable why she hard on you if you're doing shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, she gotta be hard on you.
But I'm saying, like, I did get my shit together. I didn't steal any more vehicles. You know what I'm saying? I did set a fire on my 15th birthday and sat in the middle of it and couldn't figure out how to get out of it. What? But again.
Why? Because you said you was the smartest in the car. I want to understand. Why would you set a fire and then sit in the middle of it? Was it like in a field or something?
It was. It was in the elementary school I went to. So,
Really?
This is how my brain...
Do you look back on this shit and be like, this was dumb as shit?
Yeah, I do. I have done a lot of...
Crazy.
Shit in my head. So, I... Walking down the street again, on my loner shit, and I see 2 gas cans. Unbeknownst to me, they full.
You keep on just walking up shit. That's for shit. And, you know, don't touch shit that don't belong to you.
Alright, so I got that now. At the age of 42 going on 43, I got that now.
I hope so.
But then I didn't have that. So it was like, okay. So I just literally went in the field and I did figure eights. I done wrote my name. I done all type of crazy shit. Sit down. Once I realized the gas cans is empty, so I done sat down. I done fired up a black and mild. I done plucked the match. Not knowing, not thinking. Soon as I plucked the match, I just heard whoosh. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. So yeah, broad daylight, can't make this up. Lady cutting the grass, she's screaming at the top of her lungs, "He's burning!"
But you weren't on fire. You were just sitting in the middle.
But it was hot.
Smoking a black and mild. Which don't make that any fucking better.
I'm saying to myself, like, God, why is it so hot today? Like, Duh,
You were high?
I was not. I don't know, maybe. It's a strong part. At the age
if
of
you was
15,
high, that probably would have been a better.
But at the age of 15.
Better to digest. You thinking it was hot outside. If you was high. Because you said you was smoking, what mixed with weed? Cocaine?
Mixed with marijuana.
How long did you do that?
For about 2 years.
2 years?
Mm-hmm.
How did you get off of it?
I stopped myself.
Applaud. People don't do that. How did you get into it? Somebody gave it to you.
Being nosy, wanting to hang with my older cousins outside. I always seen them outside on the corner. So every day I just wanted to be outside with them on the corner. So one day I asked a pertinent question. Hey, what's that? None of your goddamn business.
Which makes you more curious. Mm-hmm.
Well, fuck y'all then. Homeboy, he's like, man, come here. You can get tired of stop asking for shit. Here you go.
And he gave you the...
He gave it to me. Hit it. Died. Coughed, gave it back. He was like, yeah, you won't ask for it no more. Unbeknownst to him, it triggered something.
Yeah. But I mean, it's addictive, so...
That was the first time I smoked cigarettes. First time I took a shot of liquor.
That day?
That day.
Yeah, all that shit that day.
But again, it was like, alright, everything that I had been asking for months.
You got.
I got. So it was like once I got it.
Up. Mm-hmm.
And it was like once I got it, I ain't want to let it go.
Mm.
Even after getting my ass whooped by the whole neighborhood, I still ain't let it go.
So what made you decide to let it go 2 years later?
My grandmother, honestly.
So she knew about this?
Yeah. And it was to the point where she was like, ain't nobody gonna take care of your black ass if I put you out. Mm. And that was real. Because at the end of the day, even though my mom's is sending money and shit for us, we can't get it if we ain't in this roof with her.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So
did your mom know?
For a while she didn't, because my grandmother tried to keep the shit under wraps. But like I said, a lot of the people that lived, adults that lived in the neighborhood, knew my mother and went to school with my mother.
Yeah.
So eventually she found out.
How did she feel?
Honestly, she cracked me upside my head. Like, all jokes aside, when I say crack, she literally cracked me upside my head. And she was like, I don't give a fuck what nobody else do outside. It will never come in this household.
Good lesson, though.
Yeah, stitches later. But, you know, again, I say that because, you know, a lot of parents say, you know, I would never beat my child. I would never do this because they feel like it's, you know, it's tormenting to them because of the shit that they went through. Mm-hmm. But on the flip side of that coin, man, a lot of kids, if they didn't get their ass whooped, man, how would they turn out? You know, right. Think about it.
So, but you say yourself that your mom is really hard on you, so that made you not want to parent your kids that way. So, but at the same time, do you feel like her not being hard on you would have made it worse? Like, if she didn't whip your ass in a courtroom, that probably wouldn't have been your only car. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Real shit. And
so if she didn't whip your ass about you smoking and your grandma ain't say, I put you out, you could have still been, you know what I'm saying? And that could have been a worse situation for you. You could not be sitting here now.
And that's real shit. And like I tell my mom to this day, you know, even though we done had our ups and our downs throughout my 42 years on earth and her 15 years on earth, we still come to a point where at the end of the day, I know none of this shit wouldn't be possible if it wouldn't been for her.
Right.
You understand? I don't care about the one night stands. I don't care about the shit that I done in between now and to where I'm at now. A lot of this shit wouldn't be possible if it wouldn't been for her.
Right.
So I tip my hat to her.
Yeah.
And I give her respect because, again, even though my father was in the picture for a brief, my stepfather, she was married to him for damn near 20 years. Even still, she was a single parent doing this shit.
Yeah. So, you say your father was in the picture for a brief. Like, when did he come back into your life?
I tried to force him into my life. And like I said, the last time I seen him was 14 years ago. And
so, what age did you try to force that?
When I was about 10 or 11. And the reason I tried to force it then was because he watched my cousin get murdered. and it came out.
What?
It came out. Came out at the funeral. Me and him get to fight, and the new woman he with and her child, he brings them to the funeral and flaunts them off in front of the family.
Was it his child too, or was it just hers?
It was my aunt's child, which is his sister. So again, you allowed your sister child to get murdered in your face. You pull up like nothing's wrong with the whole new life.
Yeah.
You got.
I'm saying the child that he came with, was that his child or was just the girlfriend's child?
It was the wife's child.
Oh.
Again, no one knew none of this because you kept it secret from everyone.
Right.
He ended up doing some jail time because they was saying it was they tried to say it was involuntary manslaughter, and they tried to say it was because him not being aware of the situation was the reason that my cousin drowned in the pool. Again, everybody testified that my cousin told my father, look man, these people are bullying me, they're beating me, they're doing X, Y, and Z. My cousin couldn't swim. He was in the pool with his girl. They at the shallow end, they chilling. They ended up dragging him to the 8 feet and sitting him at the bottom. Like literally sitting on him at the bottom. People testified saying that they saw this. When you go back and look at the footage, my father sitting, it's choppy, but you see him sitting on the porch, the pool right in front of you. So again, like, even though all that took
Was he
place,
on drugs? Was he
nah,
sober?
he didn't care. Now he told me that years later. He didn't care. See, it's a lot there. On his side of the family, it's a lot. It's a lot of mental abuse.
I about to say, like,
it's a lot of physical abuse, and my father being who he is, he wasn't a man of conflict, so I could see how they would run over top of him. And that's how he felt. Because my aunt, bless her heart, she was a voice to reckon with. If it won't her way, it's no way. Whether it's right, wrong, or in between. If she didn't say it, it ain't concrete.
So you don't think all these things like affect you?
They have.
So how do you're saying you mentor other people and you're there for other people, so who's there for you to help you get through that stuff? Because you got to unpack all that and work through it.
My wife and my kids. I really don't open up to my wife and my kids like that because.
So how are they gonna be there for you?
I let
You know?
people on some G. I let you see what I want you to see. A lot of the shit that may hurt, or a lot of the shit that may have took some starch away from me, I don't let nobody see. Because I feel like it builds me, it grows me to who I am.
But you, like, okay, so I think a lot of things in the black community, especially, we don't sit down and talk to people who can help us, like life coaches, counselors, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if you have that trauma, like even being a parent, like you may not look at it like, hey, what I went through has damaged me, hurt me, or held me back in some way, shape, or form. And then you feel like you're parenting the right way. You feel like you're not inflicting none of the trauma that you went through on your kids. But in retrospect, you are. Because you haven't dealt with it yourself.
And
you
I
know
do.
what I'm saying?
And I do. And I'm going to be honest with you, like, my kids are literally a mirror of me. When I tell you they can be hard-headed, they can. And even though I say I will not incorporate half of the things my mom have done to me discipline-wise, I have done it. And it's like, just to give them a taste, like, all right.
It can be this way, but it's not.
Because, all right, my older kids be like, man, I hate when you yell and scream at us. But again, if I talk to you like you civilized, like you an adult.
You ain't paying me no fucking attention.
You're not paying
That's
me
a teenage
no
thing.
attention.
I'm just telling you. My son says the same
But
thing.
if I go out here and rip up half the tree branch outside and throw it through the house, everybody gonna be like, that nigga retarded. But why I gotta be all
But
that?
you got back. I got your attention now, though. And now you gonna listen.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, I don't want you to be afraid of me, but I want you to respect what I'm telling you. Because I done been there and I done done it.
Yeah.
But again, if you're gonna drag your feet and then the next thing you hear is pow. Man, what you do that for? Man, I asked you 30 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
I sat here and watched to see how long it was gonna take you to move.
Mm-hmm.
You still ain't moved.
Yeah.
Flip the switch. That was us 40, 30, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So again, I laugh and I tell them like, man, the more I tell y'all.
You know what old folks say? You getting what you gave.
Oh, do you know I hate that? Yo.
I hate that saying too. Because it changes though
man.
between our generation and their generation.
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? It changes. It look different. You know what I'm saying? Circumstances are different. I think our kids is more spoiled. You know what I'm saying?
For real,
so like
because
we got the internet.
if you think about it, we spent more time outside
Mm-hmm.
and on a landline phone.
Mm-hmm.
The kids today spend more time on social media,
Video games.
on their phone.
Mm-hmm.
So, alright, I get it. Like you said, yeah, things have changed, but to what extent?
I think it's drastically different. It's a whole flip. Even they talking is different. Like,
Yeah.
they got prime example. If I told you that I'm going to shoot the 30, what you think I'm doing? What you think I'm doing?
You ready to go and shoot somebody for 30 minutes?
You know what I'm saying? So, even that, like, for my definition is 30 rounds. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty
shooting.
much,
We
yeah.
both understand shooting,
Right.
right? So, my son came to me and his dad one day and said, something about shooting at 30. So, both of us panicking. Like, the fuck? No. Like, that's not what we doing. We not doing that. So, he looking at us confused. Like, why the fuck y'all so emotional about me shooting at 30? And I was like, okay, what does that mean to you? And he was
Right.
like, one-on-one fight. I was, where the fuck you get 30 to one-on-one fight from? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, y'all done flipped that shit all the way the fuck around. And you know what I'm saying? Changed it. And I'm like, so
Right.
it's to the point now that I've taken the time, because it's worse with the 15-year-old than any of them, because he has all this different lingo. So I learned his language.
Right.
So that when he's telling a story or he's trying to explain his feelings or, you know, whatever, I can get it.
Right.
Texting him is a different language. You know what I'm saying, too.
Right.
So I have to really be like, oh my God, I need a translator. And Google can't help me because he ain't talking in full sentences.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
So even down to one day he told me and his dad, yeah, he a switch. What's a switch?
A junkie.
No. A switch is a snitch, basically. Like, that's what, yeah, right? So I'm like, how the fuck did y'all get that? You know what I'm saying? How did you get that? Because he was like, yeah, because like he one way in front of your face and then he going to run in his mouth. I said, a snitch? That's not a switch.
So
and his dad like, a switch is a junkie.
So when he break it down,
He's saying the person is switching. You know what I'm saying? So in the literal sense, I think that's probably the only lingo he used that I understood. And it's getting to the point now that I understood his way, understanding his definitions and stuff. I understand his way of thinking. So when he said it, I wasn't moved and didn't think that he meant our way. You know what I'm saying? But his dad was like, and it was talking about the teacher. So he was like, the teacher is a junkie. You know what I'm saying? You know? And he was like, no. And my son looking at us like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? You know? And his dad like, look, your fucking lingo is wrong. It's just wrong. And I'm like, no, they changed it. Like, we had Ebonics. They put Ebonics on the Ebonics. And now we fucking confused. You know what I'm saying? But I talked to one of my aunts. And she was like, well, y'all changed shit up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay. So it's just, as the generations grow,
we got to grow with the generation.
It's a new dictionary.
Pretty much.
You know what I'm saying? Because I swore he was going to shoot at somebody or somebody was shooting at him. I swear.
Funny as shit be the 3-year-old and the 4-year-old. Like, when I tell you, they do shit together. So,
of course, they're very close age.
The 3-year-old is a carnivore. I don't care what you put in front of him. If it ain't got cheese on it, or he different. So, he's still going to crush whatever. So, yesterday, we go to Amelia to the little hunted forest. So we get through the line. I heard a 3-year-old tell the 4-year-old, hey Damo, they got glizzies. 4-year-old looked at the 3-year-old, man, I ain't in no glizzy gang, dog. You in the glizzy gang? I'm going to tell Dad. You know, Dad in the glizzy gang. I ain't never seen Dad eat a glizzy. So I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, y'all talking about hot dogs.
I caught on there and said eat it, but at first I'm like, a glizzy gang.
So we go on. They get scared a little bit. So the 4-year-old done reached his scare point. He looked at the little girl. He said, listen, enough is enough. I can't do it anymore. Looked up at me. He said, Dad, I think I done had enough of being scared. I said, are you sure? We just got here. He was like, but what's left, Dad? I said, man, we gotta go through about a mile worth of hunted stuff. He was like, for real? He was like, man, I'm gonna need me some Tylenol for this.
Not Tylenol.
So here come the 3-year-old. 3-year-old was like, you ready, my boy? I'm ready, my boy. I said, man. But again, they keep it going. I'm looking at the older two. They ain't no fun. I go back to the younger two. They is just screaming and laughing to the top of their lungs. The 4-year-old screaming to the point he got tears that stuck. Like, they is just stuck right here. I said, baby, wipe your eye. He was like, but Dad, they're going to do it again, so it's no point. But again, I know things is going to change by the time the 14-year-old and the 11-year-old become 21, 22.
Yeah.
Versus the 3 and 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Shit, ain't no telling what y'all gonna be immune to. So you're right. It's all on involving.
And they're exposed to a lot faster. Like it takes them less than 30 seconds. Like the Armstrong situation that happened on the news. My son knew about it before it hit the news.
And it's
like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, the fuck? Like, you
waiting to get the news.
Armstrong is in church. Hell, baby, you're in Verina, my nigga. Like, how? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Damn, but again, like you said, when shit happened back in the 80s and 90s, you had to wait for the 6 o'clock news. You be tuned in.
Or wait for somebody to get back home to call you and let you know for the most part.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we was like, my kids was talking. They was like, Dad, what's a payphone? You don't know what a payphone? So my 14-year-old was like, no. How do you even use the payphone? I said, bro, you pay to use the phone. He said, I'm not doing that. Don't you have a cell phone? He said, yeah.
You pay to use that?
I said, don't they come with a bill? He said, yeah, y'all pay for it. It's getting paid, right? He was like, but Dad, I don't put money in the phone, dog. Literally, you don't.
Imagine if they had to use minutes.
So my wife said, Joe, what would you do if you couldn't get on the phone until after 9 o'clock p.m. every day? And you had to wait till the weekend and use your phone for free. He looked at me and looked at his mama and was like, yeah, y'all prehistoric. See, we ain't got
not prehistoric. My son told me Facebook is the old people Instagram.
Oh my God.
That what he told me. He said, you on the old people Instagram? I said, what are you talking about? He said, I'm talking about Facebook because, you know, he has his own business. So I'm like, you need to get you a Facebook business page. Why I gotta get on the old people Instagram? Like, sir, no, I'm gonna need you to stop calling it that, because that ain't what this is, sir. Man. You know.
No, you should have heard You should have heard the kids get at their grandmother. Their grandmother was talking about Black Planet.
Oh wow.
My.
She took your bike.
What? So my 14-year-old was like, "What's that's like Christian mingle for?" Yo, listen. I cried in the living room.
You talk about doing stuff, you need to record their ass.
They be funny. Like, I don't even be thinking about it because, again, you never know
when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Put some cameras in the house. And just roll them back and just be like, here's the moment, you know?
It'd be funny stuff. Like,
because kids are natural to themselves, so it's authentic. That's the best part about it.
Oh, my God. And I just let them do them, and then they mother get mad like, you just don't say nothing. I'm tired of saying.
Let me talk to their mama. That's a guy thing, sweetie.
I'm tired
it's a guy thing.
of saying stuff.
It's just a guy thing.
Then when you turn around and turn into a Tasmanian devil, everybody want to look at you. They want to call it pastor.
I call it pastor.
Because they want to know if you goddamn, if he could perform an exorcism. Cause
no, not an exorcism.
He never act like this. He just let us do everything.
It just boiled over.
So
tell me, how did you go from dismantling the group to getting back to YellaStreet Rell?
I never stopped. None of us never stopped making music, honestly.
So why dismantle the group then? That just doesn't like really resonate with me. Because if y'all separated, then
a lot of it had to do with egos. A lot of it had to do with not being on the same page.
Well, it's hard to get minds to be.
And the more I tried to keep it from being on a personal note, it started to go into a personal note.
Were y'all friends before the business?
No. Just when I say how people say love off first sight, it was love off of first listen. They gave us a beat. We was just in the studio playing around, and everybody put their lyrics together. And from that point, everybody fell in love with each other's lyrics, so we kept doing more lyrics together. And then before you know it, we done got booked to do a show at Emilio's. We done got booked to do a show in Farmville. We got booked to do a show in New Jersey. And then from there, it was, alright, we doing all these shows. We going all these places.
Did y'all have a manager at the time?
My wife. And again, she was doing a lot of everything. She was doing the paperwork. She was doing the footwork. But again,
the money won't follow.
And that's what she told all us. Like, look, I understand y'all hungry to put yourselves out there. Y'all got to also look at the business aspect of this. Y'all are doing this. Y'all are putting everything that y'all have in bank accounts, checks, whatever the fuck y'all got going on, y'all are taking and putting it into this.
Yeah.
So at some point, y'all should want something in return, man. Not just somebody giving you high fives. Not for somebody to reach out on Facebook or Instagram saying, hey man, that shit fire, looking to do work with you, and then you never hear from them. You're going to get a bunch of that because ain't nobody in a position where they can say, look man, let's take this to another level. So do you think y'all can come back together? Yeah. I always talk to the twins, me and G-Pack stay talking. Like I said, I always ask them, man, look, let me know when y'all ready. Let me know when y'all schedule will allow us to go in the studio and put something down together. Right. Or if your money ain't right, we ain't got to go into the studio. I got people that got studios that don't pay for, they don't want us to pay nothing. They just want us to come in and get on their shit. Just let me know when y'all ready. So again, I had the conversations out there. Everybody's willing, but everybody's schedule. To the plate, everybody's schedule ain't prohibited.
If you want something, you make time for it.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
So what is Yella doing for Yella musically?
Keeping us active, keeping us relevant. That's what I'm doing.
Are you more worried about the YellaStreet as a group, or are you more worried about Yella, like building you up as an independent artist first, and then worrying about the group aspect? Or
well, when we broke off, their aspect was basically building me and Pac up as an entity. Like I said, when me and Pac split ways due to the fact he had a different job and I had another job, and then like I said, our schedules don't permit, that's when it was more, alright Rell, being that you on radio stations, you on YouTube, just keep going. Yeah. Just keep going. Yeah. Whatever we need to do, we got you. We gonna back you. You know what I'm saying? If you need beats, if you need... the team's still there anyway. The team's still there anyway. Yeah, you know, it's just, again, if I can get everybody in one building at the same time, that shit is magic. But until that happens, I'm the shooting star. Right. You know, and again, if Glock say, alright, I got a single coming out, I'm going to his functions. Right. If Pop Off say, hey man, look, I'm at Showtime at RVA, I'm going to his function. Right. If G-Pack say, man, look, I'm opening up for Ed the Realist, I'm at his function. I'm at both their functions. Right. Ed the Realist, we done did this since '09, since the first showcase in Richmond. So again, I stayed elbow to elbow with a lot of talent that's in Richmond.
Right.
You know, so again, and everybody says the same thing. Everybody says the same thing.
Right.
It ain't no unity. It ain't.
Yeah.
This ain't Cali. This ain't New York. This ain't Atlanta where.
But we could be though.
We could be.
We could be.
I mean, because again, years ago, you know, Skills put us on the map.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ilyas put us on the map.
Trey Songz.
Joe Doja, all these names that we naming, them put us on the map. Red Rum.
So why it's not keeping the same momentum though?
It ain't no consistency.
Mm-hmm. You gotta have the work ethic too. Everybody don't have the same drive and passion.
I know a lot of cats right now that's million views strong, kicking it right in the projects, $500,000 in their pocket. But again, if you ain't got the right producers and the right A&Rs and the right marketing team coming through, putting all that talent into one place, ain't nobody gonna figure out who you is, man.
Right.
So one of the things I want to know from you is how do you take all of the experiences that you had, all of the, you know, the smoking woos, the, you know, the fires, the, you know, the love and the passion that you have for your wife and your kids. You mentioned them so many times, and just like I can hear your heart. How do you take that and translate it into your music?
It's called a cry. A cry not for help, but a cry to listen. You understand what I'm saying? I can't sit here and tell you about what Tom, Dick, and Harry done went through. I can tell you what Rell done went through. I can tell you, yeah, I done cheated on my wife. I can talk about the infidelities. You understand what I'm saying? I can talk about being an asshole to my kids. You understand what I'm saying? I can talk about that and be cool with it. Because at the end of the day, in order for me to grow, I got to realize my faults. You got to see me for my good, my bad, and my ugly. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to show you nothing less. You're going to see beginning to the end. You understand what I'm saying? And sometimes with the music, like I said earlier, it's certain things that I feel like I can't relate to my wife or relate to my right hand, so I put that shit on track, because I'm quite sure if I can't relate to it, it's somebody out here going through this shit or done been through it. You understand what I'm saying? Baby girl, I'm gonna be all the way honest with you. We living in a hotel and don't nobody know that because I don't express that. But when I do tell people that, they like, bro, what the fuck? Bro, you got to get out there. I hear you. But when you sit here and bust your ass 365 days a year, and a motherfucker tell you you got to make 3 times, 4 times what the fuck you bring home in a 2-week time span,
4 times.
The people that's telling you that, they don't even make that themselves.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that my kids got a roof over their head, clothes on their back, and food on their table. You understand what I'm saying? That don't make me less of a man nor more of a man. That makes me a man. Because I know what my priorities are. I know what my goals are. You understand what I'm saying? I do this shit for bread and meat, baby. If I don't win, we don't eat.
Bars. Yeah. So, do you have one specific flow, or can you, you know, being as though the age, you know what I mean? Because I'm a little bit older and I've been doing this for a long time. How is it that you go from, you know, when we was growing up, you had NWA and, you know what I'm saying, right on the end of Big Daddy Kane, you know, Kumo D, all them, and you go into NWA, you go Eazy-E and Dr. Dre, Snoop, and you know, you go to the East Coast and you got Biggie and Pac and, you know, just all of these people that just was so influential, and then they all start to either retire or die. You know, and then it just kept on going. So how is it, being as though you've seen music change so much, how is it that you're able to keep that same flow? Like, not the same flow, but to stay relevant in your flow?
And I think I can actually speak for all, all music babies that were vibing to the Big Daddy Kanes, the NWAs. It was melodious to the soul. You understand what I'm saying? You could relate to it. I can sit here and listen to Slick Rick bedtime story and then turn around and flip on the gin and juice.
Yeah.
Two different artists, two different styles.
Yeah.
Two different spectrums.
Mm-hmm.
This man just sat here and told you a real live story.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So did this 19-year-old young man coming out of Compton, going through a murder trial, telling you the same shit that this man just told you, but just on two different spectrums of the field. So again, it resonated with us. We knew what the ears liked and didn't like.
And what the soul felt. Yeah. Now,
a lot of people don't give these two artists they flowers. Common and Consequence.
Common sick, bro.
When I say a poet,
mm-hmm.
anytime this man can sit here and literally go through the alphabet with multiple words that half of us didn't even know applied to the dictionary and leave you in awe. Nas did it years ago.
Papoose.
Mm-hmm. Another person.
No one has ever brought the idea to take their entire song and recite it backwards. A lot of people talk about, Eazy-E. Eazy-E was a dope boy that saw a vision.
He was the punching king. He started that no paper, no, you know what I mean? I'm just going to go in and say it. Say it next. What's next? What's coming next? Because he didn't have the artistry to do what Snoop and, everybody else in that time, Ice Cube, a whole dog, you know what I'm saying? He didn't have the artistry to do what they did, but he knew business. But he knew that also what was hard because he actually was coming from it, so he just punched it in. And
So
gave him the beat and
to
punch it
take
in.
what you just said and apply it to the day. Look at what y'all got going on. Look at the struggles y'all done been through. It ain't about what my check account look like at the end of that day. It's about if I got my point across to you. So what, you homeless, my guy?
Mm-hmm.
You still got power in there. You can still turn that water on, right? You can still watch anything you got in there, right? It ain't your, but you can go in there and fit your bowl of noodles, though, can't you? That mean it's hope, man. It ain't, you lose hope when them people throw them rocks on you, baby. That's when you lose hope. You understand? Until then, man, I'm still rocking like a cut-off stocking, baby. And again, just because my message don't reach you, and it's 2 billion motherfuckers in this world. Mm-hmm. It's gonna reach somebody, baby. That's all that matter, man.
That's it, and that's all.
Well, I want to thank you for coming. You got me stuck. I want to thank you for coming.
I appreciate y'all.
Well, how you come back when you ready?
Always, real talk.
Yella. 3-0 with them pistol charges. So hard on that boulevard. Made myself a trap star. Some smoking scout out the cookie jar. Neighborhood porn star, and I'm fucking beats on every bar. She rolled a dick like her favorite car. She screamed, praise Allah. When I hit the lock, her panties drop. She milli rockin' her pussy fart. I'm built like a jug, you not engaged. G-spot. When I hit the block, she grabbed the Glock, I grabbed the mop. We did the wop, she swung the ox, she cleared the block. Rearrange your spot, them building block. I'm top notch, she butterscotch. We swerved off in a drop top. To avoid the cops, she smoked the ops. We kick rocks like hopscotch. She red hot, it pop pop, and I broke the pot from whipping rock. That straight drop, that non-stop, around the clock, that Bangkok. 3-0 with them pistol charges, so hard on that boulevard. Made myself a trap star, some smoking scout out the cookie jar. 3-0 with them pistol charges, so hard on that boulevard. Made myself a trap star, some smoking scout out the cookie jar. 4-5, I'm gripped up and I ride around with my bitch tuck. We hopped out that Benz truck, we glicked up, we dripped up. I'm pulled up, inquiring minds, facing time. Don't cross the line, I'm off the hip with that drum line. Don't come from mine, so it's FaceTime. Don't fuck around with that gun line. No punchlines, or I'm down the ride for a homicide. If it's bout mines, or I'm pressed with time like you pressed with dimes. Like Calvin Klein, get redesigned, you out of line and I need mines like Duncan Hines. 3-0 with them pistol charges, so hard on that boulevard. Made myself a trap star, some smoking scout out the cookie jar. 3-0 with them pistol charges, so hard on that boulevard. Made myself a trap star, some smoking scout out the cookie jar.
Tink did not come to play with you hoes. I came to slay, bitch.